Media Collection Links Manager on the web is an ASP.NET web application that is used to assemble, organize, and manage collections of related hyperlinks that address internet locations such as web-hosted media files and websites. The application stores its record information in an SQL database using a 5-level hierarchical schema. Related hyperlink records are organized by collections. There are 4 levels of links nesting underneath the collection level. The application runs as a single web page. The web page can be configured to accommodate a wide range of user types. The example shown in this screencast use a web page that's been configured to accommodate users who only have read access to the database records. In this particular example, only one collection is being displayed at the collection level. That's because the page records have been filtered to only display records associated with the TechSmith collection. Records that were entered under the TechSmith collection at level 2 are displayed in this control. At present, there are no records being displayed at levels 3, 4, or 5. Media Collection Links Manager on the web is accessed with a login page using username and password credentials. A user will enter their username, then their password. Then click the Use MCLM command button. The current username is indicated on the face of the Logout command button. When finished using the application, the user should log out using the command button. Authorized users can manage their user profile information by entering their username, password, then clicking the My Details command button. Current profile information is displayed in the form in the lower left corner. The user can click the Edit command button to change the information. Note that the user cannot change their user ID nor their username. When finished making changes, the user can click Update or Cancel. At this point, the user can use the application by clicking the Use MCLM command button. Or they can clear the form with the Clear command button. Some public community users will not have authority to change their user profile information. If those users attempt to access the profile form, when they click the My Details command button, they'll receive a notice that profile changes are not authorized. However, they can still click the Use MCLM command button to access the application. Records are displayed at all 5 levels of the database schema in a paged format. You'll find page control buttons at each level in the schema. To see a list of all records at a given level, open the drop-down control below that level. The first 4 levels in the database schema has a column called Sub-items. There's a checkbox in this column. If there's a check in the checkbox next to a record, that means that there are records recorded below that level. In this example, we're working in the TechSmith collection. And there's a Camtasia Studio record at level 2 with a check in the Sub-items column. To look at those records, select the Camtasia Studio record in the drop-down control immediately below the level 2 list. Under Camtasia Studio, there's a record called How To that also has a check mark in the sub-volume column. To see those records, open the drop-down below the level 3 list and select the How to Record. In the records, the display at level 4 under the How to Record, note that the page records have a next and last button that are not grayed out. That means that there are more records in more pages. To navigate those records, you can use the Next button, or Previous button, or Last button, or First button. You can also see a list of all the records at that level by opening the drop-down control below the level. And you can scroll the list to see them all. Note that there are a number of records in the level 4 list that have a check mark in the Sub-items column. One such record is called How to Use Library Building Blocks. It has a check mark. to see any records recorded underneath this item. Select that in the drop-down control below the list, and there's our building blocks item. I'll click it. We're now looking at level 5, the lowest level in the database schema. Note that there is no subitems column at level 5. That's because the database schema does not support recording records underneath records at level 5. Up to this point, we have been selecting records primarily for the purpose of navigating the record set. That is to say, we have been drilling down into lower levels. Another reason to select a record is to select it to view it. In level 5, there are a number of records, and they have hyperlinks recorded against them. To select one of those records, use the drop-down control below level 5. I'll open it and I'll select the screencast.com record. To navigate to the URL, for the selected record, in this case, screencast.com, has this URL, click the View command button that's next to the drop-down control used to select the record. I'll click the button. And in this case, a video starts to play in the browser. When finished watching the video, return to Media Collection Links Manager on the web using the back button on the browser. I'm going to change the record selection from the screencast.com to the collapse submenu placeholder record. If a viewer should attempt to navigate to a record link address, where the link address is not a valid address, they'll get this error message. Escape the error by using the back button on the browser. There are currently records displayed in level 5. Under the How to Use Library Building Block record, BIR, which is up here in level 4. To collapse this list of records, change the selected record under level 4 to the Collapse submenu record. After the page refreshes, and if you scroll, you'll find that those records are no longer displayed. Accordingly, if you change any of the drop-down controls, at any level in this example, I'll go to Snagit from Camtasia Studio. Note that the previous displayed records are collapsed and replaced by appropriate records directly underneath the drop-down we changed. If you would like to collapse all displayed records for all levels, click the Collapse All command button. To wrap this up, when finished using the application, remember to log out using the command button